Hello, and welcome to Enchanted Babes, the show with D&D Under the Sea. I am NerdKicks, your DM, and I'm joined as always by my players, Ashta, Alex, and Sun. And it is Valentine's Day weekend, so happy Valentine's Day, you guys. And let's go ahead and recap. So, in the search for Thauma's friend, Kale, our heroes have found themselves in a prison. You managed to get yourselves into the prison disguised as. Are we all good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Disguised as people who were coming to like pray and do like community service in the prison. Elomi played one song repeatedly.
I couldn't think of any other good ones. I'm sorry.
And
I'm open to suggestions.
So you interacted. Thauma interacted with a deep mer named Jack. And Thauma, do you want to tell us anything that you learned from Jack that you remember learning?
So Jack told us that there's something in lockup that his buddy Johnny found. And that there's a control room that houses the anti-magic thing.
Okay. And meanwhile, Leo was making good friends with Brand. Leo, do you remember anything about your conversation with Brand?
I don't know that he gave me much useful information, except that they don't leave the prison to do work, so, that's obviously off the table for a break type thing. And that... Oh, what else did he tell me? The people from the annex don't leave the annex ever, basically, so... Yeah.
You also, before that, actually, were in the prison kitchen having conversation with some folks in there. And are there any details that you remember being like interesting or important from that? There was a guy named Freddie. I think Freddie is the only name you got in the kitchen, but there were a couple guys.
There was a door, wasn't there, off the kitchen that could take us somewhere?
Yeah, but we couldn't go through it. It was to the storeroom, and they're real.
The pantry was under.
And it's really only people the guards like that get assigned to deliver duty to the annex.
All right, and then on the way out of the prison, we saw a very formally dressed individual who we then found out is Prince Brightthread Gen, and sibling of Elomi. And at this point, you were having conversation. Elomi was kind of, explaining a little bit about their life, and then you were briefly discussing what your next steps would be. And at this point, it is probably late afternoon, and you have made your way back to... I guess it sounded like you were heading back to the Temple of Galthea. If you're wanting to head somewhere else, that's great, but otherwise you've probably arrived to the Temple of Galthea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go back and see if there's, like, more official shit we can use to get in.
We were discussing me talking to Elder Latura to see if, well, one, what the heck was going on, why are guards looking for me, and also that would give easier access to the prison if she could help, because it wouldn't be ideal to get locked up.
Yeah, no.
Personally,
I'd really rather not get locked up.
Would I have to take off all of my disguise nonsense for Latera to recognize me? Do I want to risk being taken away by the guards without knowing what's going on?
So, just to clarify, what we're trying to do is use your position as royalty to try and get into the prison? Is that correct?
More or less, yes. My connections to the temple, more so. Just wondering how to approach that particular thing.
So this Latera person, so she's like the head of the temple, or like your...
She's one of the elders, and she's the elder that was assigned to me. Sort of like a guardian mentor combo.
Do you think she would definitely turn you in?
Not if something bad was happening. But I think if it was important enough that she would be like, yeah, your plans need to go on hold. You need to, go to the castle, see what's up.
Right.
But she would obviously be in a powerful position enough to understand whether or not it was like something that could potentially harm me.
Because yeah, it is a little bit strange just how aggressively the guards have been looking for you.
Yeah, that's what really ticked up my hackles. I was like, this doesn't feel right.
Like, it's not just a naughty child needs to go back into timeout. It was, yeah, more than that.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to take the chance of trusting Latera. It's not that I don't trust her; it's that it's not at 100%. But that's still a better chance than anything else.
And if that fails, we can always go find out where the control room is in the prison and just take out the anti-magic gem, and then.
That is true. She doesn't help us. I will get arrested. That I will have access to the prison in some way.
So, plan A is to try and get in somewhat legally. Plan B, which will happen if plan A fucks up, is that we're in prison and then we can plan from there.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it seems like, all paths are leading to the right direction.
Yeah.
I get arrested, though, I'm going to end up in the annex.
Perfect, that's where we need to go.
Well,
that would make it difficult to plan.
it would make it difficult to plan. You're right. I appreciate the enthusiasm, though, Leo.
As you're having this conversation, you suddenly hear, "You're back! You're back!" And you see Kaz coming towards you.
G'day, Kaz,
Greetings.
what's up?
I didn't think you'd be back. You seemed like you were going off on a long, dangerous adventure.
Yeah,
We weren't able to...
didn't happen as we had hoped it would.
Oh, no.
It's a lot harder to break into a prison than you would think.
I never want to sing Komba Ya again. Kombu Ya.
Well, Hydrus actually, after you left, said that she had something else she forgot to give you.
Oh.
Is it like a key to the prison or something? Because that would be real handy right about now.
No way.
No. It and she shoves a small bag in your hands.
Okay, I'll open it up. What is it?
It is a small bundle of crossbow bolts and what looks like two like brown lumps of clay.
Do we know what the lumps of clay are?
Make a intelligence check.
It's thermite, isn't it?
Can I make bombs?
For those watching, Son and I have been on Team Thermite since day one.
Oh my
This
gosh.
stream.
Since we started talking about it being underwater, they were like, thermite bombs, let's go.
I got 12.
You got a 12? You're not sure. You've not seen this before.
Does Kaz know what they are?
Kaz is like, I didn't look in the bag. She just asked me to deliver it. Sorry. She said that it's stuff that Kale had.
Oh.
Can I inspect it?
Sure. Or make an intelligence check. Or maybe a perception check? I don't know. Uh-oh. You got a 1. You're freezing in and out, so I'm not catching all. But yeah, you have no idea. It looks gross and dirty.
All right. Well, I guess we're just going to assume that it's probably useful, but we don't know what it does just yet. I'm going to sort of like stick my head in the bag a little bit and give it a big sniff. Can I identify it?
Make a, I don't know, intelligence or perception, you pick.
I'm going to pick perception because I am not a smart bean. That is okay. That's 21. And I also have proficiency with a herbalism kit if it's anything sort of like herbal related.
If it's not thermite.
So you stick your face, you just fully like put it on your head and shove your head in this bag and inhale deeply. And it smells musty and it smells sweaty. And you smell like the fibers that were made into the bag and then the wood that was made into the crossbow bolts, and the lumps of clay smell very earthy. And then like they make your nose kind of tingle for a moment, and you kind of, it's the similar smell to let's see. You're like that. There's something maybe arcane, something like it has some power to the smell.
Magic mud.
Could be magic mud. If it smells vaguely arcane, I am going to. Do I still have the use of that left? I'm going to use my my Murbog magic and cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Yeah, you cast Detect Magic, and it looks like the bolts and the clay both glow.
Ooh.
Ew.
So these are magical. Can I tell what school of magic they are?
Maybe. The clay is transmutation.
Ooh. I'm gonna say the clay looks like it's to do with like changing stuff, making stuff into other stuff.
Hold on, let me figure out what school of magic the other one is. Evocation.
And
It's the other.
this one looks like it might be to do with, like, elemental type magic. I'm not really 100% sure. Elomi, do you have any, like, way of working out exactly what these do?
Yeah, I could cast Identify. How many? I just updated my shit. Yep, I have 4 slots, so I can actually identify both.
Because we didn't get to use anything in the prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with the mud ball.
Okay. So you, how long does it take? A minute? Okay. You hold the ball of clay and you kind of just like manipulate it in your hand and you focus your magic on it. And you determine that this magical clay may have the ability to manipulate the, what's the word I'm looking for? Manipulate stone.
It manipulates stone?
Yes. So with each ball of clay has the ability to cast stone shape one time.
Okay.
Well, that could be pretty handy considering what we learnt about, we can get things into the prison. It's just casting the spell initially that's, gonna be a problem. So this, stone shape caper, is it, how much stone can we move? Because, like, if we can move a lot of stone, maybe we could just go, like, straight in through the side of the prison and go g'day Kale, come with us, and we'll swim out through the side and to freedom.
The stone shape is no more than 5 feet in any dimension. You can create a small passage through a wall as long as the wall is less than 5 feet thick. And then there's other things you can do. You can create a door. You can create rock into a shape.
Mm-hmm. I say 5 feet's kind of thick. Not quite as thick as me, and I'll jiggle my belly.
Examples are a weapon, idol, coffer, or a small passage. Or you can make a door with 2 hinges and a latch, but finer mechanical detail isn't possible.
Alright, good to know. And what about the arrows, the crossbow bolts?
Are you going
Except
to cast
invocations, that's... Yes.
Okay.
I just will use this right now.
Okay. So you again spend a minute focusing on the crossbow bolts. And you are able to determine that they are +1 crossbow bolts, and there are 10 of them. Ooh. So they just add 1 to damage, and there are 10 of them.
Hey, Thauma, those are +1. You want to hold on to those?
Yes, please.
Don't you both have crossbows?
Do you have a crossbow?
Both of us. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
It's just that you hit more frequently, so I feel like it's a wiser decision to have you do it.
You're allowed to divide the loot however you want. I was just like, and specifically with like, people don't have crossbows, right?
No, we do. I just
wanted to make sure I didn't misremember.
100% just me trying to plan ahead.
No worries.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I could throw them, but I mean, that seems kind of silly.
So yeah, you'll definitely need to declare that you're using that kind of bolt like before you roll the attack, and you'll need to keep track of how many of them you've used. There's 10 of them. I'm not super picky about like keeping track of ammo for the most part, but like obviously magical ammo, yes.
Right, yeah.
If it's special, yeah.
All right, well, we still got a little bit of time left in today. Do we want to try and go talk to Latura, or do you want to do that tomorrow morning, Elomi?
And at this point, Kaz was like, "Oh, I have to go." She's gone.
Bye, Kaz.
Yeah.
While you were casting Identify, she like wished you all good night.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go. Y'all can get those robes off though. It's totally fine.
Which, point of order, you get the occasional stink eye from people wearing Didea robes in Galthea, but not frequent. It's not a big deal, but like every once in a while someone's like, really? So, whoops, where's Owlbear? Right there. Alright, so let me pull up the map.
Yeah, because about what time is it?
It's, like I said, it's like late afternoon, early evening, around
Okay.
5 o'clock maybe.
Yeah, we could just wait the night and...
All right.
Yeah.
one last night of freedom, just in case.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Are you going to bed? Are you planning to do anything before bed?
I'm going to take Gideon out for a run, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Gideon is so excited.
Yeah, boy.
And he's you realize he's not like the most skilled like riding horse. He's a little awkward and weird.
Oh, buddy.
He gets distracted sometimes, but he's pretty fast. And he's very excited.
I
to
didn't
get
want
the
him just to
exercise.
be cooped up all day in the stables. Take him out for a good run. And I could probably
He's
use a
very
good swim myself as well before heading back to the stables and probably just sleep in there with Gideon.
Okay. What are Thauma and Elomi doing?
Oh, and I'm also reattuning to my staff.
Okay, perfect.
I was going to... It's going to seem a little bit silly. I was going to ask the deacon if there's anything that I should bring to the attention of an elder of the Temple of Didea, some sort of like diplomacy that I need to... Not that I need to, but like anything that I can do to sort of help the relations between the temples other than just becoming head and telling people to cut that shit out.
Okay. So you're going to his office? Deacon Mech?
Yeah.
Okay. When you get there, he is pouring through books because that's kind of all he does. And he looks up at you over some like half moon spectacles and says, "Yes, can I help you?" I don't know if he has.
I had to take off the robe, by the way.
Okay, great.
In my street clothes. Hi. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to contact my mentor and guardian at the Temple of Didea, Elder Latura, and I wanted to know if there's anything that I could do for you since you were so generous in helping us.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so while that's happening, what is Thauma doing?
Thauma really doesn't have anything to do except just like not panic.
Yeah.
So honestly, they probably just went with Elomi.
Okay, so you're there with Deacon Mech.
Yeah.
Cool. He's thinking really hard about his answer right now. So Deacon Mech looks up at Elomi and Thauma because Thauma is with you, and kind of considers for a minute and says, "I don't think that I have anything to say to the Temple of Didea.
Okay.
And if they have anything to say to me, they are fully aware that my door is open."
A fair point. But thank you for all of the generosity that you've shown us.
Of course. And thank you for your aid to the temple.
Deuces. And then I'm gonna just scuttle out. Cool.
You said you hear it.
Elomi's not really.
Make a perception check really quick.
24.
You hear him go, deuces, very quietly.
I love how we've just taken Amber's really cool world and just gone, you know what?
I feel like that's 90% of D&D. So Leo is spending the night in the stable with Gideon. Where are Thauma and Elomi planning to sleep?
In like the hostel room.
The room we slept before? Okay. There is actually someone in that room now, even though it was empty before. There's like multiple like bunk beds in this room, and there are a couple people in there that you didn't see before.
Oh,
just like hanging out. There's a deep mer, a merbolg, and 2 merfolk.
Thauma goes full antisocial mode and is just like, nope.
Great.
Just probably will end up sleeping under the bed.
Nice. Very
Elomi's gonna swim over and be like, "Hey, I'm a bard. Actually, would you like me to regale you with a story?"
They look up at you and they're just sort of chatting, and then look up and go, I think we're good. Thanks, though. Let us know if you need anything.
No worries, no worries.
And then they just kind of go back to their conversation.
And Elomi's gonna sleep in the bunk above Thauma to give them a sort of like
the bottom bunk, and Tauma's underneath.
Yeah, just sort of like to give them an additional barrier.
Wonderful. So as you settle in for bed, Leo,
yes,
you and Gideon kind of have a sleeping position now. You've figured this out. You know how to get super cozy with him real quick. And you settle in, and he starts snoring immediately, as always. And normally the sound of snoring sort of like lulls you to sleep, the sound of his snoring anyway. And tonight is no different, but then you feel like the snoring, as you start to dream, you can hear the snoring like in your dream. And there's just this like noise in your head as you're dreaming. You're having a dream that you're eating a salad, you're having dreams that you're swimming through a field, but there's just always this like noise. And then as you're in your dream, you're swimming through this field of kelp. It, just like before, it starts to turn red and it starts to get warm, and you feel yourself surrounded by like suffocating warmth and heat. And as you continue to sort of swim forward through this, where before in your dream you saw faces, there was another dream where you saw faces of people you knew, you just see shadows. You don't recognize them, and then you see a massive shadow drift slowly by in front of you.
Does the shadow have any like distinguishable form, or is it just like a giant blob?
Make a perception check.
12.
It's long and sleek, but it does appear to have a large part on the part that comes across you first, and then it has maybe fins or something, like tails, something on the sides of it, and it kind of tapers, and it just swims. It drifts past, this giant shadow, and it's eventually gone. And after it passes, the bright orange that you're surrounded by kind of fades, and everything goes gray. And you are again aware of that like loud snoring, like chainsaw kind of noise.
Is that loud noise coming from a direction, or is it just all around me?
It is coming from below, like forward and below.
Okay, I'm gonna swim in that direction.
Okay. So like I said, everything has turned gray, and you swim forward and down, and everything gets darker and darker and darker.
Does it get cooler at all?
It gets hotter.
Oh.
It's getting darker but hotter somehow. And eventually you find yourself you have reached the bottom. It's a rocky like floor. It's very hot and uncomfortable. And then you feel yourself suddenly jostled as Gideon like whacks you with his tail in his sleep and wakes you up.
I'm gonna push his tail down. Oof. Ow.
He makes lots of like snorting noises and then sort of settles back in.
What time of night is it? Do I have any idea?
It's dark. There's not a lot of motion around you. It seems like it's like early morning.
I'm going to try and go back to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, you find that you have a slightly easier time falling asleep this time, and the snoring seems it's more annoying than usual. And but you do go back to sleep, and you have very mundane dreams from this point, and you are able to sleep the rest of the night.
Okay.
Leo, you wake up in the morning and you just don't feel super well rested, but you feel okay. And Elomi, you wake up and metaphorical birds are chirping just like every time you wake up. And Thauma, did you roll your chronic fatigue?
I did. Despite Thauma sleeping under the bed, they wake up perfectly fine and refreshed.
Wonderful. So for once, Leo is the one who is not well rested.
Nice.
Thauma's by no means chipper in the morning.
So yeah, I probably wake up fairly early. Is there like a library here? Like, do they have like a book collection?
We lost Alex. Leo, after waking up from that dream, you had asked if there's a library. And I would say make an investigation check.
14.
Okay. You do find a smallish library. It's near Deacon Mech's office. It's not huge, but there's kind of like books on all the walls, and then there's a couple of small shelves in the center with books in them.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find anything on like cataclysms or natural disasters or anything like that.
Okay, and about how long do you want to spend on this?
I know that we're all meeting in the morning, so probably maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. I'd say make another investigation check.
That's only a 5, so.
A 5. Okay. You find a couple of books that's like history books. You're not sure if any one of them is going to be more relevant than the others. There's like 7 or 8 where you're like, it might be in any one of these.
Okay. Alright, in that case I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll look again later, and I'll pack them all up and put them back.
Okay, you're putting the books back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so great. And then are you meeting up with your friends?
I am, yes.
So as Leo arrives, you notice that they look a little less chipper than their usual. I presume. I guess you can tell me what you look like, Leo, actually.
I probably do look a little less chipper. Like, I probably have a slight frown on my face, and, like, I look tired. I've probably got bags under my eyes, and yeah. I'm gonna just sort of, like, grab some fruit and whatnot and sit down for breakfast.
Elomi's gonna look up from their plate of...
over to him.
Yeah.
It's like
Elomi's gonna
coffee.
look up from the plate of shrimp toast and just be like, oh my god, what happened to you?
I just didn't sleep well. That's all.
You?
Yeah, Gideon's snoring was extra disturbing for some reason. Usually I find it very relaxing, you know, that big that he does, but yeah, for some reason I got into my dreams, and I had like these weird dreams that like the ground was making that noise, and it was really hot, and it was like a big shadowy thing. It was really strange, and I was like, this is like the second or third time I've had a dream sort of like that, so I was like, maybe I should go read some books, but then, you know, there are so many words in books. Like, do they really need to be that long? Does there need to be that many words in a book? I just feel like, you know, if they just made some pamphlets or something, it'd just be easier to like find the information, but yeah.
You could probably ask someone that reads a lot, like Deacon Mac.
You think he reads a lot?
He's always got his nose in a book whenever we walk in and talk to him.
Oh yeah. I just assumed
Read
that was like an
that.
aesthetic choice, but
Anyways, focus on your breakfast first, so you can go talk to him. We'll wait for you. It looks like this is really bugging you.
oh, all right, thanks. And then Leah's gonna sort of like go, are you just trying to like put off going to see Latura?
No, I'm just in love with this shrimp toast so much. You have no idea. You know,
Called out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
hi,
pretty
Kitty
sure
baby.
that my thing's probably just a dream, so it can wait, but you know, getting you sorted out and getting Kale out's probably a more pressing problem. Besides, I don't think Deacon Mac is a morning person, so I'd rather not go annoy him right now. I will take a big chug of the coffee that Thauma passed across.
Wonderful.
You want to say hi, Trish?
No, kitty.
And then I pat the catfish that swims across the breakfast table.
Fantastic.
Hello.
Elomi's like, damn it didn't work. Anyway, yeah, fine.
You okay,
Alright.
Leo? Should we take Kitty in with us so you could ride him?
I'll be fine. It's just, I'll wake up as the day goes on, and if I want to, I'll just probably, you know, go to bed a bit earlier tonight if I need to. But otherwise, I'm good. Let's go see this Latura person.
All right.
I mean, the question is, do we need to strap Elomi to Gideon to make sure that they actually come with us?
No, I
Alright.
just don't want to get yelled at.
So Elomi, what are you doing to prepare?
I'm going to return my hair to its natural color, and just put on the robe with the cowl up.
Okay.
And probably put a hood underneath it as well, just like a little extra something. Like that really nice black cloak that I got.
From the shop with the really Valley Girl shop lady?
Yes, I love her to death. I need you to let her know.
Okay, I'll let her know. Note to myself.
Anyways. Oh, I just
Okay,
realized
so you're
I look
like double.
an Assassin's Creed character.
What'd you say?
I look like an Assassin's Creed character.
A little bit. So you've got like, is the white robes of Didea underneath or on top? Like which robe is on top?
I think I'm gonna put the Didea robes underneath the black cloak because I want to go a little bit more incognito in the city, and I feel like that would just stand out.
Okay.
Besides, we don't need to reveal who you are to the city guard. We want to just,
Yeah.
we want to make it to the temple.
Yeah.
What is Thauma doing to prepare?
Tama's just gonna put their hood up and rely on their natural magic to kind of just dissuade people from seeing
Okay.
fully. Just like blending in with.
And that is concentration, correct?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's concentration.
I don't remember.
Let's look it up. Let me get the Google Drive open.
Why do all of my pens not work?
Bolígrafo.
Leo's just going to put some, like, kelp poultices underneath their eyes to try and look a little less tired.
Oh,
I'm assuming my proficiency with herbalism will let me do that.
Absolutely. Roll a nature check.
Oh.
Or whatever. Is there an herbalism kit? Roll that if that's a thing.
I don't know that there is an actual roll for herbalism.
Well, roll with proficiency.
Okay,
Whatever you
because I
roll.
am not
I
proficient in
can't
nature.
find
But
the
that is a
document.
15 plus 18 total.
18. You make like the most potent like herbal goop to put on your face, and it feels so refreshing. And over the course of like the next little bit, you guys notice that Leo looks a lot more like chipper and looks, at least like facially, looks more refreshed.
I'm assuming it's like those old caffeine gel rollers that we used to have in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. Elomi, were you able to? Not Elomi. Thauma, were you able to tell if it's concentration?
I'm trying to find it. Even if it is, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't.
It's in a green binder in the living room, but I can't.
What
go
are we
in the
looking
living
up?
room right now. If Elomi, the Ursulani ability is concentration, I believe it is.
Oh, okay. I don't have that on me now, but I can look it up. It'll just take me a hot minute.
Okay, we can work on that while we move forward, I think.
Yeah.
So let's see. Thauma has hood up and is using your sort of disguise ability to try to blend in with shadows as you move through and you know, moving currents. Elomi has two hoods on, the black one on top. And Leo has some goop under their eyes.
I will wipe it off once it's done its job, though. So.
Gotcha. Okay, so not for very long.
Mm.
Like a 20-minute like soak. And then you will need to determine what route you are taking through the city.
Sorry, I just have the mental image of my head of Leo having the goop on under the eyes and then just taking a bit of seaweed, scooping it up and eating it, like dad Disney movies getting facials unexpectedly. And they eat the avocado.
What?
They take the cucumbers over the eyes and they scrape off the avocado face mask and they eat it.
That seems pretty on brand for Leo, to be honest. They would 100% eat their face mask.
I'm thinking, where's the laser pointer? Yes, hello. Get pink. I like the spy market right now.
I didn't catch all of that, but you are up here. This is the Temple of Galthea up here.
Yeah. So I'm thinking going down here. Is the Gambor Gardens, is there a path or is it just sort of
There's a road through the Gambor Gardens right here.
Uh-huh.
And the Temple of Didea is up here.
Okay.
Where it says
Well,
Temple of
maybe in that
Didea.
case, avoiding the watch would be the priority here, I think. So maybe just the shortest route would be best. Skirting by the outside of the Court of Gin.
Okay. And how are you planning to be moving? Are you going stealthy? Are you going, what are you doing?
I'm
Not drawing attention to ourselves.
Nonchalant?
Oh, it's casual.
Totes cash.
I'll be moving with a slight limp, I've been injured recently, so I'm going to the temple for healing.
Okay. So everyone roll either performance or deception, your choice, individually.
22.
21.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good lord.
Natural 1 for a total of 2.
Oh no!
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
See you at the prison, mate.
Hey, I've got friends on the inside.
All right. So you make your way down the road from the Temple of Galthea through sort of the residential area. And as you are approaching the Court of Gen, which I don't think you've been on this road before, the road that leads in front of the Court of Gen as a group anyway.
No, I think we've mostly cut through the gardens previously.
Mhm. So there are these super tall, opulent columns, pearl, mother of pearl, iridescent, almost walls that surround the Court of Gen, and you see completely covering the top of this walled-in area, this blue kind of foggy kind of cloud that does drift and move, but it is stationary on top, above the walls. It's definitely being held there by magic, but it does swirl almost I want to say clouds, but something drifting in the water, and it stays where it's at. It's this bright blue.
Is it some sort of
you're very aware of it.
phosphorescent algae or something?
Kind of looks like that, yeah. And
Melanie just rolls their eyes and says ostentatious under their breath.
And as you pass, there's this sort of bright white gate right in front, and there's some 2 guards standing in front of it, and some guards kind of just like wandering around. There's lots of very fancy looking people coming and going, and a guard stops you and puts a hand out and says, "Excuse me."
Yeah? G'day, mate. How can I help you?
And turns to Leo and says, "Are you okay? You look lost."
I haven't seen this place before, and it's a lot to take in. I think I'm okay,
yes,
though.
Welcome to the court of Gen.
Who's Gen?
Who is Gen?
Yeah, who's Gen?
The king.
Ah.
King Ariston Gen.
I see. I've always just known him as the king, so this makes a lot of sense. Well, I've got to get going. I've got more big things to see in this city. You can tell I'm like...
Well, this is the biggest.
Yeah. I've also heard that there's like a really fancy temple around here too that I should check out.
Of course, the Temple of Didea, just down the road.
Oh, sweet.
Not quite as beautiful as the castle, as the court of Gen, but...
Well, thank you for being such a wonderful, friendly face in this big city.
Of course. Have a good day.
You too, mate. I'm gonna swim away. And hopefully they did not notice Thauma or Elomi.
They seem pretty distracted by you.
Oh, good.
Elomi's just gonna look at Leo like, you really did look like a terrorist, huh?
I mean, well, that's not entirely incorrect, so...
Yeah.
I'm not so good at lying, so it's,
No, that went better than I thought it would ever go. You are so damn lucky.
Sometimes. All right, I will pay a bit more attention from now on.
Alrighty.
My hidey magic is concentration.
Okay.
And my DC is now up to 14 for it.
Ooh, nice.
Since proficiency modifiers went up.
Alrighty. As you continue to head down the road, you reach the Temple of Didea, which is very fancy and flashy and white, but not nearly to the extent of the walls of the Court of Gen. And there are people in like white and purple robes. It's like white and like a light, like lavender color, sort of wandering around.
Would I know the procedures for requesting a meeting with the elder?
Sorry, what did Thomas say?
I was just asking Elomi if they're ready for this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, as ready as I ever am to have my ass chewed out by Latura. Okay.
And
Well,
then
I mean, that's only fun if it's consensual, so...
Leo, gross! She's like my grandma!
Well, I don't know that! Oh my goodness.
No, not like actually really, but she's like, never mind. Damn me to shell.
Okay, so as for like procedure, Elomi, you know that you have like quarters, like you have an area that you can just go to. You're talking about an audience for Latura?
Mm-hmm.
For the general public, they would need to like make an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Generally, you know that you can just kind of show up and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Just go to her office.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Follow me. There should be a comfortable waiting room outside of her office. If you hear yelling, I'm totally fine. If you don't, I'm dead.
You don't want us to go in with you?
I'll call you after she's done tearing me out.
don't you want, like, any people to, like, vouch for you and stuff? Like, we've done some good together.
If you want, I guess.
I mean, if you think it's not going to help your case, we can stay behind, but, you know.
You know, she'll listen to the reasons after she's done with her her scolding me. I've done this a few times before.
All right, well, we'll sit outside, and if you need help, I don't know, yell something.
Help?
Yeah. And Elomi's gonna politely give a little rap on the door.
Okay. So so Elomi leads you through a pretty white temple. There are people praying. It's in a lot of ways there are similarities to the Temple of Galthea. There are people just kind of praying around little lighted orbs. There are people singing, and but it like feels more sterile. Like it feels like there's not a spot of dirt anywhere. It's very pristine. And Elomi leads you down a hallway, and there is an office. There are a couple of sort of like cushioned seats outside of the office where you're welcome to make yourself comfortable. There's nobody around. It's just kind of an empty little area. And Elomi, you knock on the door, and you hear a familiar voice that says, "Enter!"
Swings open door. Gently closes it behind them. Hi, Elder Latura. It's been a minute.
Aralomia. What?
Yeah. I'm safe. I'm fine. Throwing off the hood and whatnot. I'm really sorry. I think I really messed up big this time. The army tried to capture me and bring me back.
Make a perception check. Or sorry, what'd you say?
Fuck this die. I got another one.
Okay, great. Wonderful. She's there. So she kind of blinks at you for a while. And says, "You've returned."
Yeah?
What are you doing here?
Well, the guards kept trying to catch me, so I thought that something big might have been going down. I thought that maybe Dad was sick or something. Why else would the army try to get me?
Does anyone know you're here?
I mean, I have some friends waiting outside, but I was assuming that I was in for an earful when I got back.
Who are your friends?
An Ursulani named Thauma and a
Merbold?
I forgot the Merbold. A Merbold named Leo.
So she kind of stares at you, and then her face kind of softens a little and says, "Aralomia, I'm glad you've returned."
It's nice to see you again as well.
But what were you thinking? You know how hot I don't want to yell because I don't want our last interaction to be like this.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Is something wrong?
What'd you say?
Oh, why would this be our last interaction?
Because you're... And she kind of starts fumbling with like a necklace and just sort of looking at you. Because you have to go.
Wait, why do they need me back at the castle? I'm sorry, I'm not getting this.
I can't say. But you can't leave.
That's... Yeah. Yeah. And I'd have to face that sooner or later, but I'll go quietly, no fuss, no muss. I just want to ask for your help on behalf of my friends that are waiting outside.
She kind of rises from the desk that she's at, and she comes around and puts a hand on your shoulder, and she looks nicer than you think you've ever seen her. Like, she's kind of a stern woman, just, you know, very loving, but also very stern. And she looks sad and says, What do you need?
One of my friend's brothers is stuck in the annex of the prison.
The prison. So a criminal?
Well, technically, but like it's not like they hurt anyone, and it was because they were like, from what I understood, it wasn't something that they personally wanted to do. They were directed by others.
I don't understand.
I think that I'll ask Thauma to state their case, actually. I'm gonna be like, gang, I'm done being yelled at.
Do we hear that?
You do, but the two of you make a perception check.
That is a natural 20 for a 24.
Oh.
What'd you get?
Sorry, I was on mute.
14. Okay, so a few minutes after Elomi goes in, you did hear a little bit of yelling, not a whole lot. And then shortly thereafter, Leo, you notice some like buzz chatter happening down the hall. Like, you can hear people talking very quickly, and you hear some doors opening and closing. Shortly after, go ahead.
I'm gonna say to Thauma, I think we might have a problem. I think they might be coming to get Elomi. So I'm going to bust open the door.
Right as you're about to open the door, you hear, "Gang, come in here!" So, Elomi, you say, "Gang, come in here," and then we go burst through the door.
Dear Christ, you can't do that in Latura's office. What's wrong with you?
Elomi, language.
I'm sorry.
You speak her name in vain.
Of course, Elder.
Anyway, I'm going to turn to Elomi and say, looks like we've got a, that thing we were going to do. Like, we need to do it, like, really urgently. So, like, we should go now. Lovely to meet you, ma'am. Have a good day. Elomi, let's go.
I'm afraid she cannot leave.
She's a whole person. She can do whatever she wants. She's a whole person.
Elomi, what were you saying?
I am planning to go with them. Latura will be able to help you get Kale out. I will get word to you as soon as I'm able. I don't know how long I'm going to be stuck in there, but it doesn't sound like they're sending me to prison. It just sounds like they want me back in the castle. If I do this, then alerts will be lifted. It'll be easier for you to move. I won't cause trouble for you anymore. I'll be fine.
So, like, you think they're just going to take you to the castle?
You
Yes.
think they're gonna let you out?
Eventually, probably under guard, but
Everybody make an insight check.
God damn it.
19.
10.
12.
Well, Elomi, you see Latura looking back and forth between the three of you, and she looks at Thauma, and you see like a flicker of recognition in her eyes. Her eyes get a little wide.
Pardon, is everything okay, Elder?
Everything's fine. And she starts sort of wandering towards the door, and shuts the door and looks at Elomi and says, "Are these the friends you need to help?"
Yes. Is there an issue?
You are assisting a criminal? Or
Well, I
multiple
would-
Look,
criminals?
it was one time I punched a guy. It's all cleared now. I did some community service.
I can't.
They are not
No.
a threat. They are not a threat to the general citizenry. They are peaceable people. They don't start fights.
You said you needed help with someone in prison. You are assisting criminals.
Well, I don't know the specifics, but I got the gist that Thauma wasn't really a fan of how it went down.
This is a criminal. And she gestures at Thauma.
Leo's gonna go, just because something is legal doesn't mean it's ethical. And just because something is illegal doesn't make it unethical. What on earth are the tenets of this idea of yours?
What?
Do you just blindly follow whatever the law tells you to, or do you use your own noggin to work out whether or not something's right or wrong?
Didea teaches us everything that is right and everything that is wrong, and we base our laws and our society's principles off of these teachings. And for you to question what she tells us is right and wrong is what makes me wonder if you too are a criminal.
I told you I did my community service. I don't know what more you want from me on that. Like, I recognize that punching him was wrong, but I did it anyway. And I paid my debt to him and to my community. It was a very lovely sort of restorative thing, rather than, what do they call it? The punitive?
Yeah, punitive.
It sounds like sounds like you're not really dedicated to healing society. You just want to take out your anger and frustrations on those that have crossed some sort of line, rather than doing any sort of repair work. And I get that the repair work is really uncomfortable and really hard to do, but ultimately, if you want to have a society that's better, maybe
Didea will repair anything that is broken, but for people like you, and she gestures at Thauma, to steal from the institutions that serve Didea, I cannot believe you. Aralomia, why
know
would
what
you
they
bring
did?
someone who would do these things into my office?
Do you know what they did?
What you did?
Do
Yes.
you know what the pod does?
What are you talking about?
The Finide Ordo Despota.
Can you not put the microphone so close to your mouth?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you know what they...
The orphanage that serves Didea.
They only serve themselves.
At this point, the door opens, and two very out of place looking guards come in, because everyone here looks very religious, and these people are like armored up, sort of walk in and say, Elder Latura, what do you, and then just sort of stop and looking at what's going on.
I'm gonna say, oh, good thing that you're here. We've just heard some evidence, haven't we, Latura, of some corruption that's happening in the pod, that they're serving themselves, and they're not actually working for the tenants of Didea. He's like cast a look back at Latura.
Leo, you're not gonna.
Latura gives you a dirty look. Like, fucking excuse me. It says, that is not at all what is going on here.
Well, that's what we just heard, wasn't it? And if you're so worried about your institutions and whatnot living up to the ideals of Didea, it sounds like some of your institutions might be a little bit rotten on the inside.
I don't know who you are, and I don't really care. But for you to come into my office and tell me how to practice worshiping my lord is not something I'm going to deal with right now. Guards, Arelomia is here, and you may return her to her father. These two should probably go to Fendon. I don't really know.
Leo hasn't done anything.
I mean, but like I could like go with either one of them. Like, I'm just saying, I can be like a very good like listening ear.
I don't think they're gonna let me bring anyone, are they?
Oh, I could be like your noble steed and like you could like ride on my shoulders. I've become very used to sleeping in stables. Guards, I am Elomi's noble steed.
Leo, dear, I need you to stop digging. You're gonna hit the continental shelf.
So the two guards start moving towards Elomi.
I'll go on my own. Just one word, Elder Latura. If you're so confident that they aren't doing horrible things, why not look into it yourself?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna throw out this die. Can I believe I have inspiration. Can I use that here?
You definitely don't have inspiration. It only lasts 10 minutes.
Damn it.
Can't they give themselves inspiration?
Not at this level.
They did it earlier.
Not bardic inspiration. I thought that I had like
Yeah,
inspiration.
part of inspiration. Oh.
Inspiration?
As in
Yeah.
like GM inspiration.
Did I give GM?
I thought that I did, but I might not. I might just be totally confused.
I don't remember. Have I given GM inspiration before?
I'm not sure.
Okay. What did you roll?
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
For a total of 6.
Look, I can tell you everything that went down.
Are you talking to Latura?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roll persuasion.
$13.
15.
13. 8 plus 5.
She just kind of looks at you, and the guards continue moving towards Elomi.
Elomi's gonna move towards them and just put up their hands like, don't touch me, I'll walk on my own. Thank you.
Okay. So one of them kind of gets right up behind you and starts leading you out, and the other one has his hand on his sword and is kind of approaching Leo and Thauma.
I am going to go invisible
What are you-
for 6 seconds, and then I'm gonna creep to a different part of the room, and then I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself as Elomi.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Oh my goodness, no! It's a 5. I like bump into like table or something on my way past. Ow!
Yeah, so yeah, you go invisible and try to move. Were you moving towards Elomi?
No, I just wanted to be in like a different area from where I was. My aim was to confuse the
Okay.
guards by thinking that there's 2
Okay.
Elomis and they don't actually have them. So I was like moving from my original position to a different position to be like, aha, I am the real Elomi.
Okay. Yeah, so you move into the corner and you end up like hip bumping the guard as you're on your way, and
Okay.
then you
Oh,
reappear.
sorry, mate.
You reappear as Elomi, and what's your AC?
It's 17.
Doesn't matter. He rolled a nat 20. He throws a net over you, and you are caught in a net.
This is very familiar.
While the guards are distracted,
Okay.
trying to catch Leo now, can I bolt to the door?
Yeah,
Because I'm assuming the door is open.
the door is open. What are you trying to do?
I'm getting the fuck out.
Okay. The guard who is with Elomi sees you and says, "Stop! You'll regret it."
I'm still
Right.
going.
Okay.
Cool.
Mallory, I can tell them what to do. Listen, are we going back to the castle, or are you gonna play, like, are you
He
gonna play with these guys?
darts away from Elomi and slams the door shut behind him with his tail and chases after Thauma. 1 second. And Thauma, what's your AC?
My AC is 16.
He throws a net at you, and it sort of like bumps one of your tentacles and misses. And he calls again, "Stop in the name of the crown!"
My goal is to find a room to slip into.
Okay. Make a perception check. Oop. Yeah, just make a perception check.
Oh, it's cocked. That is only a 5.
5. It's like a long hallway. You see a couple of doors.
What are the walls made out of?
Like mother, like a. It looks like stone, but it's not stone.
Okay. Are the doors made out of
Shiny as
stone?
fuck. The door is made out of wood.
Damn it. Okay. I'm just gonna keep running. Dashing.
Okay. As you reach the end of the hallway, the guard behind you is calling out, "Stop! Stop them!" And 2 other guards have appeared at the end of the hallway and are in front of you, blocking the exit. What you doing?
Thinking. Can I double back and go up and over the guard that's chasing me? Is there enough space above?
The hall back into the office?
Yeah, back the same way.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, you know, like when you're running and you just stop real hard and like turn around. Someone.
Sure, yeah, you can double back. Make a dexterity check.
Oh, look at this.
An 11.
11. Yeah, you see the two guards and you immediately like whip around and try to head back, and then you end up like kind of bonking him in the head. You make it over him, but kind of like it's not very graceful.
Doesn't have to be graceful, it just has to work.
Back in the direction of the office. What's your next move?
I'm gonna bolt back to the office and slam the door shut.
Okay. What's your AC again?
16.
16? Yeah. So as you go over him, he grabs one of your tentacles and holds on real tight, and you are not able to get away from him. I wouldn't say he has you like grappled, but he's attached to you.
I'm thinking what I can do because I don't want to hurt the guard, but at the same time, I'm gonna hit him with Mind Sliver.
Okay.
DC 14.
DC 14. And what is it?
Psychic.
Constitution?
Oh, intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay. He succeeds. He got a 17.
Can I yank?
He reaches up and he grabs another one of your tentacles, so he has one in each hand now.
Can I ink in his face?
Have we determined that you definitely have an ink ability?
It was mentioned over the rooftop chase that they got very upset and had a trail of ink.
Yeah, it's more of like just like a confusion. I thought
that was more of a flavor text thing, but that was just my interpretation.
Yeah.
You spray out some ink and he kind of just like waves his head and waves it out of the way. So pausing here, what are Leo and Elomi doing? There is one guard in the room with you right now. He is slightly distracted by what's going on with Leo.
Oh no, you caught me. I am the real Elomi.
He's just gonna look over like, what the fuck are you doing?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Lord Lotura says, Aralomia, this is just not necessary. Please just go. Tell your friends to go.
It's not worth them getting hurt over this. But most of all, I'm just disappointed in you, Elder Latura. I really thought that you were different.
She doesn't say anything.
Leo, it's
Sorry, you go.
Leo. It's time to give up the chase. I'd rather you not get hurt.
I dropped disguise self. You got me.
No, please be gentle. They're my friends, please.
Okay, cut back to Thauma He's got one each of your tentacles, and he says, "It's in your best interest to just come with me."
No, it's really not. I'm gonna yank as hard as I can.
Make a strength check. This
19. I have nothing added to strength.
He got, he got a 7. So you managed to yank your tentacles out of his grasp. You are sort of above him, and there's the door to the office, and then there's the 2 guards who are coming towards you. What's your next move?
I'm bolting into the office.
Bolting into the office.
Slamming the door shut.
Okay. You you sort of dart out of his grasp and whip open the door and tumble in and slam the door shut. Lotora and the guard look slightly startled. And the guard draws his sword.
Elomi's gonna get in the way and say, No, there's no need for that. I'm sorry, Thauma. I'm gonna do my best to get us all out of this mess when I can. I know you. You're resourceful. You're smart. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be fine in there. I just don't want to see them do that to you.
At which point the door opens and the other guard comes in, sword drawn.
This is the best I can do to protect you. Can you
Sending me there is
just
not
let them
protection.
quietly?
Sending me there is not protection.
I know, but there's nothing else that I can do here. Would you be able to put them in solitary confinement at least, because they're not safe from the other prisoners?
Are you talking to the guard or Lotora?
The guards.
The guards. The guards both kind of look at you puzzled, and what are you talking about?
Listen, they're important to me, and if they get hurt by the other prisoners, I will hold it against you personally.
Okay. And?
Solitary confinement would be the best option.
I feel like maybe not.
Well, there's something there. And if you're in general population, then Pod is going to get you. And I can't see another way to just get you out of this situation.
I don't think the pod's above the table, not in game. I don't think the pod's gonna do anything in the prison. I just don't want to fucking go to prison.
I know, but this isn't a place where we can win here. It's going to prison with or without an extra tentacle.
I'll probably end up in the annex.
At which point, the 2 other guards have made it to the office. There are now 4, and the one nearest Elomi and Thauma says, "I don't think any of you have much say in what goes on here," and they start handcuffing y'all. And I think that's where we're gonna call it for the week.
So, plan B.
Yep.
So, yeah. We'll see what happens next time in like 2 weeks.
Yeah? Did Elomi get handcuffed too?
Yes. You are all being handcuffed.
The fuck? I'm not going to prison. I think.
And thank you for joining us on Enchanted Babes!
Oh boy.
We're in trouble.
Have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everyone.